This is a free sample of the book.
Your Parents Were Wrong, Debunking and Replacing Outdated Advice
By Cairo Copeland. Available on Amazon, Audible, and reinventideal.com. Chapter 1. You're not special. Parents say, "You're special!" But reality says, you're not special. In the grand tapestry of existence, each of us is just a thread, weaving our own narrative within the vast expanse of the universe. Yet despite the reassurances of our upbringing, the uncomfortable truth remains. You are not special. Think about it. Everybody gets told that they are special. I remember the movie The Incredibles when that was said to Dash that everyone is special. He had the best reply. He said, which is just another way of saying nobody is. It goes against everything you were told on day one. From the moment we take our first breath, we're bombarded with affirmations of our uniqueness, coddled with the comforting embrace of parental adulation. Relatives passed you around like a sacred relic they had the honor of holding. All you had to do was breathe. As you grew up, you repetitively heard how great you are, and no matter how mediocre your existence was, you constantly heard it. Spoke your first words? What an amazing achievement. Took your first steps? This was a historic event even greater than Armstrong walking on the moon. Took your first shit in the toilet all by yourself? It was an astonishing feat that was celebrated with a serenade from the song Also Sprak Zarathustra. If you don't know, that's the theme from the movie 2001, or the entrance music for Ric Flair, the wrestler. But strip away the layers of affection and flattery, and what are we left with? A stark realization that in the grand scheme of things, we're just another speck of dust in the cosmic whirlwind. Further, as a man in America, you are not only not special, but also not welcome here. As the freshman orientation at college warns the girl co-eds that you're dangerous, diversity and inclusion HR reps prefer the girl bosses over you in the workforce, and social media is constantly reminding you that you're the scum of the earth. But fear not, for embracing our insignificance lies a curious liberation. You see, the myth of exceptionalism serves as a comforting salve for our fragile egos, a shield against the harsh realities of a world indifferent to our existence. We cling to the notion that we are special, that our needs and desires hold sway over the different forces of fate. And yet the universe cares not for our petty grievances or fleeting triumphs. We are just fleeting shadows dancing upon the stage of life, our significance measured in grains of sand slipping through the hourglass of time. Like the Stephen Crane poem, man said to the universe, feeling important does not make you important. Believe you are special all you want, but the universe does not care. This is especially true when you are male, because in the world of today, no one cares if a man starves to death in poverty on the streets. A woman, attractive or not, could knock on any door in America and say, I just got kicked out of my apartment and I'm homeless now. Can you please help me? And very few will turn her away. But a man in the same circumstance will be told to fuck off, go away or I'll call the cops, and the door slammed in his face, or get shot. Now this isn't to bitch about female privilege. It's to highlight something about being male that, while for some is depressing, can also be quite liberating. No one cares. A loner and a doomer might think, no one cares about me, so life's not worth living. But another man the same age in the city may simultaneously think, no one cares about me, so I can do whatever I want. The first difficult truth a boy must be told and digest as a man is that outside of immediate family, no one cares about you. You're not an attractive white girl from the suburbs, so no one wants you around. And there is no exception to this, because you are not special. Being born and loved by your parents is the experience of almost all humans that have ever existed. It's incredibly common. Therefore, you cannot take the word of your parents when they tell you that you're special. They're biased because within you, they see themselves, or parts of themselves that they hoped they could have been. Many parents live vicariously through their kids. If you're special at all, it's only to them. Some may protest, clinging desperately to the belief that they are the protagonists of their own story, the masters of their own destiny. And indeed, who can blame them? The allure of exceptionalism is a seductive siren, luring us into its embrace with promises of grandeur and significance. But scratch beneath the surface, and what do we find? A desperate yearning for validation, a hollow emptiness that no amount of accolades or adulation can fill. Enter stage left, the solipsists, the self-absorbed denizens of the modern age, who strut and preen, convinced of their importance in the grand scheme of things. They believe that the world exists to serve them, to bend to their whims and desires, like a pliant lover. But such delusions of grandeur are just a house of cards, built upon the shaky foundations of ego and narcissism. For in a world governed by indifference, the solipsist is just a child playing make-believe in a universe that cares not for their fantasies. And what of the males of our species? Here lies the tale, as old as time itself. For centuries, men have strutted and swaggered upon the stage of history, their deeds lionized and celebrated with great fanfare. But peel back the layers of myth and legend, and what do we find? A grim reality, where millions upon millions of men languish on the streets, their plight met with little more than a collective shrug from society. It's a harsh truth, but a truth nonetheless. The world is a taker, not a giver. If the majority of the homeless in America were women, you'd never hear the end of it. The TV news would constantly remind us of this national tragedy. Social media would spread memes about how it's the fault of the patriarchy. And both government and private company initiatives would focus solely on solving it. You, being a male, don't get that attention, and you do not get that privilege. But amidst the bleakness and despair, there lies a glimmer of hope. For if no one truly gives a damn, then the shackles of expectation are just flimsy threads waiting to be severed. You're free to roll the dice, to dance on the tightrope of uncertainty without fear of judgment. After all, when the world couldn't care less, why not take a gamble? Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. So embrace your insignificance. Revel in the knowledge that you're just another speck of stardust hurtling through the cosmos. And remember, in a world that doesn't care, the only validation you need is your own. The world remains indifferent about you either way. And perhaps in that indifference lies the greatest freedom of all, because it allows you to be okay with being different. Thank you for listening to this free sample of the book
Your Parents Were Wrong, Debunking and Replacing Outdated Advice
by Cairo Copeland. Available on Amazon, Audible, and reinventideal.com.